you want to be in a movie? Yeah, keep your clothes on. Pick some tomatoes or something. Some of the eggplants too.
Anyways,
yeah, thanks for doing that. That's Frank, if you need that for B-roll material. Greenwood Coalition is really a community of people who are connecting with a community of people who have been marginalized. Being involved with Greenwood has really shaped my life. I think I align myself more with people who are struggling than with people who aren't. People who don't have much facade left in their life are willing to be more honest, has been my experience.
For 2 years, 2 years of sobriety, my sponsor's taking me to a ball game tomorrow to see the Yankees. I'm going to Yankees and Iron Maiden. So
Yankees and Iron Maiden.
I'm going to Iron Maiden after the Yankees game. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Nice.
If I don't make it back, you guys know what happened.
You became a groupie?
Yeah. Not for me, though. It's a powerful, painful journey of mine. It took an awfully long time for me to surrender to my old way of living, but I'm an alcoholic and I'm a drug addict and I like things I like when I like them, and I never lived a very responsible life for a long time. I was married for 25 years and raised a family and lived paycheck to paycheck. I was hurt in 2009. I was run over by a tractor trailer and my whole world sort of came to an end. That life as I knew it was over. I couldn't work like that anymore. I couldn't afford to pay for that lifestyle, new cars, etc. And fell into a pretty good drug addiction on top of my alcoholism through pain management. I hit a nasty bottom. I went through 10 years of complete hell. Addiction brought me to my knees. I didn't drink for a long time in pain management and opiate addiction. I had 6 years of that, and I didn't really drink a whole lot then. I didn't need to. I just found another substance for a while, and it was prescribed, and the doctor said it's okay, and I got very, very, very sick.
I think humans, most mammals, are designed to avoid pain in whatever ways available to us. For some folks, that means addictions. I mean, we all self-medicate. You know, I just got my extra coffee of the day. You know, coffee, sugar, fast food industry. We all have something. It's to different degrees, and I guess it depends on what happens to come our way. I don't imagine that anyone sets a life goal or puts in their bucket list that I want to become an opioid addict so my life can fall apart.
We're seeing people being poisoned at a very high rate in our community. And if there weren't so much stigmatization around what's poisoning them, we would be up in arms, we would be outraged, and there would be community action about this. But because we've sort of dismissed people using drugs as having made their own bad choices, we don't act on that outrage. We don't see this as a problem that is our problem. It's just the problem of that person, and they'll get what's coming to them.
I had a lot of rock bottoms. I think I called them events because there just seemed to be another one. And you would think, wow, that's pretty rotten. And then there would be another one because my life was unmanageable. So I never really looked for how much lower can it get. I stared, you know, I was looking death in the face, addiction, alcoholism, homelessness, all at the same time. I tried to take my life. That's about as close to a rock bottom as a human could get. And and I realized I didn't want my life to end then. I just wanted it to end. I just wanted my life to end the way it was going, the way it was living, the way I was living it. I wanted that life to end. That's rock bottom.
The question is not why the drug, but why the pain. In our experience, people using drugs are treating themselves for trauma and loss that they have experienced, usually at quite an early age, sometimes before they've even kind of formed a framework of how the world works. I think social isolation in our communities is on the rise, and I mean, we can point to all sorts of things from social media to, you know, whatever. People are experiencing a kind of isolation and loneliness that is at a really difficult level to cope with. We've really devalued people who can't contribute something to our gross domestic product. Those people are being pushed to the side, but they know they're being pushed to the side. They know they're being excluded.
There is a myth that it's the individual's fault and that it's their responsibility to pull up their bootstraps and just make better decisions. And that's not the whole story. If we only look at the individual and we don't look at the bigger context, then we blame the individuals rather than seeing how they fit within broader society. How do we care about people in this opioid poisoning crisis? They're people that other people have loved. We can't just, they're not disposable, they're human beings. What can we do together to create more compassionate communities where people feel like they belong? Even if we don't understand, how can we still care and bring empathy and compassion?
Whatever reasons it could be, before the walkthrough of choosing the yarn and then seeing all of the different identities on the posts, I'm feeling very raw, vulnerable, and emotional.
I think this is really going well. We were off to a good start with it. One of the identifiers says, I have a life partner / spouse, and a little girl said, oh, I have a life partner, it's my sister, and wrapped her yarn around that one.
Why are you wrapping around this one? Because I feel like I have a life partner, because I have my sister.
Your sister's your life partner?
Yes.
And so that was really sweet.
I found it very rewarding. I think everyone has a story that we don't know about. There's a lot of things that the classic one, don't judge a book by its cover. So I think an open mind would be a big advantage to many people.
Well, it joins us together. Obviously, we are connected. This clearly illustrates the connection. And I hope that message gets through to some folks that don't see it that way. We tend to be awfully isolated today. We are all part of this planet, and we all have to do our own little bit. And if we do, there isn't a lot of work for anybody.
Sometimes you feel like the whole message of community and working together and we're all in this together and all that kind of thing, sometimes it feels like that's a lot of hard work and people aren't really buying into that. A day like today where people walk up and say, yeah, of course I understand what you're doing. Build a bigger and bigger tribe of people that understand we're all in this together is so important.
I don't know why we want to all sit back home behind a firewall and reach out to connect to other human beings from our den. The person you could be chatting to is 3 doors down. and you could actually be sharing a cup of coffee in a real eye-to-eye, face-to-face.
We're really not much different. We hurt, we have dreams, we have a lot in common, but creating human face-to-face encounters has to be the beginning point.
Just live your life as free and as happy and joyous as you can be. And you'll help other people without even knowing it.